Okay, again, Juan Martinez using this witness to attack the credibility of Dr. Samuels, also Alice LaViolette. Let's bring in great defense attorney John Manuelian, who's following this. John, your thoughts on the effectiveness of this witness for the prosecution?
Extremely effective, Mike. She's clear, she's concise, she's coherent, her answers are logical, she's breaking down everything that LaViolette said one by one, including the fact that it was inappropriate that she should have given any kind of gifts. It was inappropriate to say, I'm sorry. It shows she's testifying that LaViolette basically fell down the rabbit hole into Jody in Wonderland, and all her testimony was based on what Jody told her, and it was more subjective than objective and less professional than her opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and you make the point, it's simple. If a jury, and let's say there's some jury fatigue, you want to make it very simple and powerful. And basically she's saying, lie on a test, that invalidates the test. So if she's talking about PTSD and the trauma that would lead to the symptoms, if Jody Arias lied about that, test invalidated. And that would mean, to your point, what Alice LaViolette did, invalidated. Potentially Dr. Samuels as well, John.
Right, but remember, Mike, after the rebuttal case, there's an opportunity for a surrebuttal, which is technically a rebuttal to the rebuttal. So they could call LaViolette back and rehabilitate her as to these issues. So it's not over yet.
Right. You expect that after listening to some of this, and we're just probably halfway through here?
Yeah, I do, because this is a death penalty case, and I'm sure that both Wilmot and Nurmi want to cross their T's and dot their I's.
Yeah, got it. So something to expect as we continue along. Again, you do not miss a moment of the Jody Arias murder trial here on HLN. We'll have more from court when we come back. Stay with us. All right, again, so while the attorneys go to sidebar, let's go back to our attorney, John Manuelian. And, John, let's clarify, when we talk about whether or not a surrebuttal is going to come down the pike, what is a surrebuttal, and is it an automatic? What does Kirk, Nurmi, and Jennifer Wilmot have to do to get a surrebuttal, which is, I guess, it's a rebuttal to the prosecution's rebuttal case? But go ahead, John.
It's my understanding that in the state of Arizona, it's discretionary upon the judge. So after the rebuttal case, the defense will approach and ask to open up new issues or rehabilitative issues on the rebuttal. So basically, it's a rebuttal to the rebuttal. It's sort of like saying, well, you said this now. We have a right to come on in and dispute that. But again, it's discretionary, and it's up to the judge in the state of Arizona.
Is it different in different states? Is it easier to get a surrebuttal in other states as opposed to Arizona?
I only have a license to practice in California, Washington, D.C., okay, and Massachusetts. But my understanding of Arizona, that's the way it is. In California, you would be able to get it, especially on a death penalty case. And I think that even in the state of Arizona, they will be able to get it because the stakes are so high. And this judge doesn't want to be held on appeal for not giving a surrebuttal. That's my prediction, at least.
Okay. All right, John, thanks for the clarification on that. Can take a break. Again, you do not miss a moment of the Jody Arias murder trial. Still on the stand, Janeen DeMarte really going after the defense experts through her testimony. More coming up. Stay with us. Okay, the attorneys at sidebar there, and they're talking about a personality test, basically how we relate to people. Be interesting to see what the findings are on Jody Arias. We'll have that when that wraps up, but it gives us a chance to talk to our defense attorney, John Manuelian. John, again, I'll reiterate for the viewers your headline here, and we talked earlier, you're thinking it's a good day for the prosecution.
It's an excellent day for the prosecution. They got an expert that is on the money. She is telling the jurors everything that is logical. It makes sense. There's no dancing around issues. Martinez is doing a great job. Let me tell you, Mike, I thought this guy would be yelling at his own witness at one point, but he's keeping calm, cool, and collective. It's working, and the chemistry is great. I think this is a good day for Martinez.
Yeah, it's workmanlike, isn't it? I mean, he's getting his questions out. She's answering in a concise way, and they're moving the ball along very well. Well, let's talk about the way Martinez has used her to attack the defense's experts. And really the headlines on that, we'll start with Alice LaViolette, that she's subjective. It's bias, and it's what Martinez was going for when he actually crossed LaViolette herself.
This has always been the theme, Mike, that she's been extremely subjective from the second that she met her and she said, I'm sorry. it created this avalanche of doubt in her testimony. And the reason is because you don't want to say you're sorry to somebody that you're examining. You don't want to give books or gifts to seem like you're biased. And you don't want to assume things. And there was a lot of assumptions made. And on top of all that, everything that Jody told her was a lie, and based on that, LaViolette's conclusions are inconclusive.
Right, and the same with Samuels, that Martinez using this witness to attack the way Samuels is giving the test and also rescoring the test, right? Manipulating the data, possibly.
Manipulating is a good word, but I'm sure Martinez is going to use that on closing. Yes, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. All right, John, always good talking to you. Always good to get your insights here as we watch this play out.
Thank
It's part
you,
of the prosecution's rebuttal case. Coming up, Making It in America with my colleague Vinny Politan. And speaking of Vinny,